Anytime you can explain things well to a 5-year-old, that means that you really understand it. In fact, Albert Einstein said something like, if you can explain something to, I think he used 6 or 9-year-old, then you really understand it. One of my students told me that the other day in class. So one of the ways that is a good way to learn to code is teach somebody else, explain it to them. Like we went in class the other day, we talked about explaining it to the duck. So explain it to the duck. Explain it to your favorite 10-year-old. Explain it to your husband. Explain it to your boyfriend. If they can understand what you are explaining, you know the concept really well, which is why it's nice being an instructor. I'm a lifetime learner. I learn things all the time. Every time somebody asks me a question, I have to think, okay, what's the best way to explain it to this person? They might be 32, they might be 64, they might be 8. I have to change my approach and how I talk to them based on all kinds of things that I have to make a snap judgment in that split second. Regardless, I would not talk to a 32-year-old the same way that I talk to a 9 or 10-year-old or a 12-year-old. That's part of teaching, is recognizing your audience and adapting what you're doing or saying to that audience. I am purposely making this video a little bit more interesting and using more emphasis because watching videos can be very boring. All right. Hamster wheel, which, by the way, I think one of my students told me they eat each other or they're very mean, or maybe it's gerbils. I can't remember. Anyway, we're going to do 2 different types of loops. This is the for loop. And I think for now I'm going to drag this out. I may need it later, so I'm going to keep it around. By dragging it out, I'm just taking it out of the code block, which is like commenting it out. So when I click, this code just sits here. The Scratch interpreter doesn't pay any attention to it. When we go into Python, we will show using the pound sign to comment out code temporarily. All right, for loop, how does it work? Well, it's not really called a for loop in Scratch, but it is in every other programming language. It's in control because we're controlling how many times something happens. We're controlling the code. We're going to repeat something. Oh, I don't need this anymore either. Yeah, I'm going to get this out. Quite often when you're prototyping or creating a new program, you don't put in input first. You hard code it to see if the thing works. So I'm going to repeat whatever it is. Where's my variables? There they are. I'm going to repeat whatever it is so many seconds. Well, maybe I'll change that to steps. There we go. And I can drag this out, drag this over. I know it looks like I know what I'm doing, but that's because I've done this sort of thing a lot, even though I don't do this very often. Okay, so what are we going to do in steps? Well, remember when I said we could use a loop to make the cat move? It's like stop frame animation. Let's do that. We'll make our own little Wallace and Gromit here, which is how that works. They take a picture, take a picture, take a picture, move it through the frame, and it looks like it's moving. We're going to do the same thing with our aquaponics system in the pit. We're going to have a Wallace and Gromit, Aardman actually. Aardman something or another is the company that does it. One guy in the middle of an island somewhere. I'm exaggerating, but really it kind of is one guy. We're going to move it. All right. That's not it. Events. Where is that? Say, where's move? Move is a different color. Oh, crud. If I just follow the tutorials. There it is, motion. We're going to move so many steps. We're going to, repeat it steps times. We're going to move 10 steps each time. So we need to go backwards. So we're going to do minus 50, run it. No, that didn't work. So it steps to minus 50. Oh, that isn't going to work. Our loop, we don't care if our loop steps minus 50. We need our steps to be minus, right? All right, here we go. See how he's kind of jumping through the frame? That's how movies work. That's how videos work. Videos, I'm trying to think, 29.96 frames per second. FPS is frames per second. You want to make your own chicken run? That's how you do it. The more steps per second, the better the resolution. I'm sorry, the less steps per second, the better the resolution. Okay, so moving on to the next one. This loop will run until it runs out of steps. The next loop is sometimes called a menu loop, meaning it does something until you say something else. Well, let's get this out of the way. This repeats so many times. Sometimes you want to repeat until a condition is met. Okay, so we're going to do forever. Let's see, control. You don't ever use a forever loop in real life because that's an infinite loop, which means you have a dumb program. We're going to put move 2 steps. And we're going to pause. Remember I said earlier that we can make it go like doot, 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 like the cat sneaking up on you. Let's say hello, which should be up here. No, up here. There we are. We're going to, say hello. We're going to say hello for 2 seconds. We're going to move 2 steps. We're going to do it 50 times. Well, actually, how many times are we going to do this? Oh, steps is not in here. What are we going to do? Well, let's put steps in here so that we can still control steps from here, but with a forever loop, you can't do that. Where do you use a forever loop? In a game. Which this is a while loop that's the example in the tutorial is an example of a forever loop, but games have something called a game loop, which is a forever loop. This is the essence of a game, but we don't have a condition to stop it. Game loop, sorry. And we'll do some Pygame stuff later on to give you the idea of what's behind your favorite games, like Fallout or whatever. I can't remember any other names. I was talking to a student about this the other day. That's why that's on my brain. All right. So, what was I doing? Oh, getting my steps. Well, which I have to get my steps for all my travel I'm going to do. All right. Look at there, 2 seconds, it makes a move. Okay, that's just way too slow. Let's stop it. Let's say hello for 1 second. Now the cat walks faster. Now you know how frame animation in movies work. Or like Disney cartoons. Or Princess, whatever that was in the Snow Castle where she says, let it go, let it go, let it go. Yeah, same thing. Except modern comics are done on computers, but it's the same idea. It's a stop frame animation. All video games stop frame animations. They just go so fast you can't see it. Ta-da, there's loops. On to the finale.